Hi beauties, it's Dani, Sigma Beauty's global makeup artist. Today we have a special guest. This is Paige. She's our PR and events manager here at Sigma Beauty. Today we're going to create a red carpet glam look here on Paige using our new studio brush set designed for any makeup lover at any skill level. First, I'm going to prep Paige's skin with moisturizer using our SL5 moisturizer skincare brush. Then I'm going to apply a little bit of our conditioning lip mask. So I'm applying this with our little spatula brush. So for the first step, I'm going to apply an illuminating base on Paige using the F67 Skin Perfector. Alright, so next I'm going to move on to foundation using the F85 Airbrush Kabuki. So this brush is great for applying and buffing out that foundation. It is super soft. Kind of just tapping it first and then I'm buffing it in. Just making sure I place that product down. Since she has those layers of skincare and that illuminating base underneath, I really don't want to move that around by being too rough with my buffing. I'm kind of working my way inward on Paige's face just because I really want the center of her face to look as natural as it can be. So I'm using very minimal product and really just working it in around her face. Alright, now that we have the foundation on, I'm going back in with my F67 Skin Perfector and I'm going to start concealing. It's really great for applying, or if you have more like detail work around the eyes or nose. It's such a great brush, especially with cream or liquid products. It really helps blend them in seamlessly. Just fits perfectly right under the eye area. Kind of around the nose here too. It has a really nice shape to it. It almost comes to a little point, so you can really get into those little areas. With the same Skin Perfector brush, I'm actually going to use this to go in and do a little bit of cream contour on Paige. So applying that cream contour just on the hollows of her cheeks. This is great for a first step before you do any powdered bronzer. Then I'm going back in with the Airbrush Kabuki and just blending that out and perfecting it. Making sure everything is nice and seamless. Again, I'm using those tapping motions to really push that product in. I'm not sweeping it at all. Really want everything to stay where I put it. Let's do a little bit on the forehead and then a little bit on the edge of the nose. Just very subtle and natural contour, which is what you want, especially if you're in front of the camera taking photos. You really want it to be undetectable. Now once I have all of the base done on Paige, what I like to do is take our 3D HD blender, and I have dampened this prior, and I just like to press that onto the skin, make sure everything is nice and blended and really melted into her skin. And what this does is takes off any excess product as well. Next, I'm going to set a few areas on Paige's face using our F29 HD bronze brush. So I want to keep Paige's skin looking fairly glowy. So I'm just going to tap in some loose powder just kind of in her T-zone area. And then also underneath her eyes to set that concealer. Again, just kind of tapping that in, keeping everything in place. Just like that. And then with the same brush, I'm going to use this for bronzer. All right, so I'm going to take my Sigma Sculpt palette, and I'm going to take the shade Faking It, which is this kind of cooler toned bronzer here, and I'm gonna mix just a very light amount of Throw Shade, which is a little bit warmer. So I'm gonna mix those two to make it just a little bit more neutral for Paige's skin tone. Again, taking that big HD bronze brush, tapping off any excess, and start to apply that right over that cream bronzer we have underneath. Just to give her some more dimension, add some warmth to her face. If you feel like you put a little bit too much, just go right back in with your foundation brush. You can kind of go just right around the edges. This brush has a nice point to it, so you can get right into the hollow of the cheek. Kind of just sweep it back. All right, just sweeping around her hairline where the sun would naturally hit. Giving her a nice sun-kissed bronze. And again, make sure everything is nice and blended into the jawline and around the ears. Beautiful. Next, I'm going to take the F36 tapered cheek brush. Okay, so for blush, I'm going to take a little cocktail here and mix Pinkin and Tiger Lily. So we have a beautiful kind of pinky shade and then a shimmery peach shade. And I love mixing these two. Again, the Pinkin's kind of cooler toned and Tiger Lily's warmer. So mixing them, I'm going to get more of a neutral shade, which I think will look great on Paige. And I'm just going to apply that to the apples of her cheeks. Blending that right into the bronzer. Perfect. All right, since we are doing a bolder look on the lips today, I'm going to take our Warm Neutrals eyeshadow palette. First shade I'm going to use is a shade called Toasty, which is right up here. It's a beautiful kind of light, warm brown shade. So I'm going to take that on my E25 blending brush. And I'm just going to start to apply that right in Paige's crease area, gently blending that out. So you can see I'm kind of holding the brush further back on the handle, and that really helps with your application control. Since I really want a very light application, this is just going to give you that result simply by holding it lower. Paige, do you have any like red carpet looks that you always like revert back to or like think of a certain celebrity?
I would have to say Angelina Jolie. I
Yeah.
think that specifically that, like, I think it was the Oscars where she had that black dress with, like, the red lip and the clean skin. I think
Yeah.
that's what I always think of as, like, pure red carpet beauty.
For sure, yeah. I love that look. Next, I'm going in with an E38 diffused crease brush. So this brush is a little bit fluffier, and it's great for just blending out those edges, making sure everything is nice and seamless. I definitely love those looks that have, you know, really nice, clean, glowy skin, beautiful like winged liner and like a red lip, just so like classic. But I also love like when celebs play with color and do like a fun eye or fun lip, and like, I don't know, I just feel like the makeup artists are always so good with really catering to a celebrity's style and giving them something really beautiful.
Do you have a favorite celebrity red carpet moment?
Hailey Bieber. Ariana Grande. I don't know, I just really love their style. I feel like I love like the thick wing, bold lashes, and Paige is really like as natural as you can possibly get.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I admire that too, and I'm just like, that's beautiful. But I just love a good liner and a good lip.
I like the French style though, where it's like a brighter lip, clean skin, and then maybe like 2 coats of mascara.
Right.
And good to go.
Yep. Definitely.
But I wish I could pull off like the full lashes and the thick liner.
Sure.
My skill set is just not quite where yours is, Dani.
Next, I'm going to take the shade Henna, which is a little bit of a deeper, kind of warmish, reddish brown, and I'm going to use that to deepen up kind of the outer corner of Paige's eye and just give her a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to take that on a little E30 pencil brush first, and I'm just going to kind of place that on her outer eye area, just where I want that color to go, and then we'll blend that out. And I'm just going back in with my little E25 brush to blend that out. These browns have a really beautiful kind of warmish red undertone, so I think they pair perfectly with a red lip. All the colors are really cohesive together. And then going back in with my E38 diffuse crease brush and just going to help blend that out even more. Okay, so next I'm going to take the shade Beaming, which is this shade here. It's a beautiful kind of pinky champagne shimmer shade, and I'm going to use this very lightly over Paige's lid. So I'm going to take a kind of bigger paddle brush like this. This is the E60 large shader brush. So it's a little bit fluffier. I barely have anything on my brush. I just dipped it into the shadow just a little bit. Alright, then I'm going to move on to eyeliner. This is our Wicked Gel Liner. It is super black. So I'm going to do just a very thin line across the top of Paige's upper lash line. And I'm using an E65 brush for this. Just makes it really simple to create a line just right across the lashes. Alright, next step, I'm going to apply a coat of Sinuosity Lash on Paige. This is the Glam Factor. This is our Infinity Point lipstick in the shade Ecstasy, which is a beautiful scarlet red shade. The brush I'm using is E56 shader brush, so this is actually a smaller lid brush, but I love using this for lips. I feel like it's the perfect size. Paige had that lip conditioning mask underneath her lips, and it's really kind of soaked in and left a really nice kind of sheen. If you feel like you have excess, you can definitely take a tissue and, you know, dab it off, but hers look pretty good. We're kind of like working on one side of the lip first. And you can really make this brush get really flat. The Infinity Point lipsticks are super moisturizing, hydrating, but also last a long time on your lips. So they feel really comfortable, but you also have that staying power. And this color really suits any skin tone.
It's a very universal red.
Yes, definitely. Finishing touches. We're gonna just do a little bit of highlighter. And I have a clean Skin Perfector brush. Going back into my Sculpt palette, and I'm going to take the shade Shine On, which is the shade here. It's a really kind of pale champagne shade. Have to turn that way from the page. And we're just going to kind of sweep that right on the cheekbones. Alright beauties, here's the final look. Doesn't Paige look stunning? Are you ready for your red carpet debut?
Of course I am.
Alright, you'll find all the products I use linked below. Make sure you hashtag Sigma Beauty so we can see all of your beautiful looks you recreate. See you guys next time. Bye.